Welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi. Thank you guys for coming in today. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am doing a champion spotlight on Hope because I have Hope. And I think if you guys have Hope, you definitely want to watch this video because she is fantastic. She is one of the most useful epic champions in this game. And that's not hyperbole. I really do feel that way. If you have Sandlash Survivor and you like Sandlash Survivor, then you will understand exactly how useful Hope can be, because she is as good as Sandlash, just in a couple different ways. But she has an amazing kit. The rework on her from patch 2.2 is really, really good as far as utilizing this champion. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys build her up if you have her on your team. She's useful in many areas, but the two areas I want to highlight are the ones I think that she's going to be the most useful: Arena and Clan Boss. So definitely going to want to check those out. You're also probably going to want to prepare your ears, because at the end of this video, I have a bunch of stupid Hope puns. I did not pepper them throughout, but I figured I should give you fair warning, because it's something that I love to do. Not everybody enjoys. So just be careful in those last like 2-3 minutes of this video. It might get a little painful for your ears. Otherwise, guys, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you her kit. I'm going to show you your skills first, so you understand what's going on, because if I don't show those to you, it doesn't make any sense, right? If you don't know what she's doing, it doesn't make sense why I'm talking about it. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll show you her kit, because I have her kitted out in two different ways. First, I'm going to kit her out. Well, I have her kitted out for Clan Boss, and I'm going to show you in her Clan Boss run. So we're just going to jump into that pretty soon after I show you her skills and her kit. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to re-gear her for Arena. And then I'm going to show you in Arena. So you get to see very distinctly her in two completely different areas of the game and how she can be used. And I do feel like she has two very different builds for that. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, guys, so this is Hope right here. She's a fantastic champion. So I do like the yellow and black bumblebee kind of look to her. She's got the armor. Again, a clothed female champion. How wonderful is this? This is great. I think she's really good. I mean, nothing crazy going on here, but I do like the black armor. I think that's a nice touch with the yellow. Always cool. That said, looking at her kit, let's look at her skills first, because I think that's the most important thing. So on her A1, she has a block buffs ability, books up to a 50% chance to land. She's not a heavy damage dealer. I can tell you that right now. It's based on attack. You don't want to build attack on this champion, so you're not looking at her for any damage. You're looking at her for utility. Block buffs on the A1 is a really strong skill, and if you bring her into Arena, as I'm sure you can imagine, that's really helpful. Not so much for Clan Boss. This is why you're going to have two different builds here. Harden, her A2 ability is the key ability with her. She increases the buffs on all allies for 1 turn, and places a shield buff equal to 25% of this champion's HP on all allies for 2 turns. To give you an idea of how strong that shield is, Warlord, Blind Seer, they do 30% of their HP. She's doing 25% of her HP. That's a significant amount of shield right there. Now, obviously, to get the most out of that, you have to really build her HP up, which for Clan Boss can be a little tricky. HP is not nearly as useful as defense is against Clan Boss. But you understand, more HP you put on her, the bigger that shield's going to get. It books down to a 4-turn cooldown. So that skill does two things. Gives you a shield, which helps you survive, and extend the bus. Those are really useful, especially for Clan Boss. The only negative, 4-turn cooldown. Now, this is the prioritized ability, so when you get her on a 4-turn cooldown, she will use it regularly. That's really good for us. But, you know, just be aware, those are the two skills coming in there. You want to make sure you're using them correctly. And then the last one's Holy Storm. Attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of removing all buffs, and that books to a 3-turn cooldown, and it books up to a 75% chance. This is nice. Obviously, way more helpful against dungeon waves, faction war waves, and the arena than it is against the Clan Boss. But still, if you don't have a Rosin in your Clan Boss team or someone else that steals the buffs, this is a nice bonus ability here. Also based on attack. So all these skills are based on attack. So that's why I say don't build her with attack, because you really want to maximize this ability, the hardened ability, with the HP on the shield. So that's my recommendation there. Now, how did I build her? I tried to build her for Clan Boss. That means we have her in lifesteal gear. We got our defense fairly high, 3,600. I still try to put as much HP as I could, so 46,000 is not too bad. Again, don't care about the crit rate or the crit damage. And for this, for Clan Boss, I don't care about the accuracy. I actually don't want that block buff debuff to land. It doesn't matter for us. We don't want that on the Clan Boss. That's one slot that can't be filled with poison or decreased defense or decreased attack or something else. So actually not landing that debuff is a better thing. So for Clan Boss, I would recommend get 0 accuracy if you can, as low as possible. You do need the speed because she does have to go on that 4-3 ratio if you want her skills to be used regularly. That's really the biggest negative to bring her in Clan Boss. Also that you want to build her defense and not her HP for Clan Boss. That means her shield's not going to be as effective. You can see she has pretty bad base defense. So again, not great for Clan Boss stuff, even with the really good base HP. So those are kind of the things you got to keep in mind. As far as masteries go, I went pretty traditional. This is almost like a Valkyrie build where I went pretty traditional offense down to War Master there. Here, I can actually move to the other side so you can see that. So I went pretty traditional down to War Master here to get the procs when we hit the Clan Boss. And then on the other side, let me switch sides again. On the other side, we went accuracy build, which again, like I probably wouldn't do just for Clan Boss, but I kind of mixed this one. And then we went down here to increase the shields as much as possible. You can go ahead and go down to lasting gifts. I don't see that being an issue for that. And then again down here, and I mostly went this way to get Lore Steel. And just to give her a little bit more speed, make that a little easier to achieve. And then again, Sniper with the debuff. Probably wouldn't take that if I were just going for Clan Boss. I would probably go with the HP shield all the way down here to lasting gifts and just stop there. And then I would take, that way I could take a couple more of the offensive tree builds that aren't necessarily going to make a huge difference, but every little bit helps, right? But if I was doing it for Clan Boss, that's probably the way I would do it. For Arena is a totally different thing, but we'll come back to that in just a little bit after this is done. So I'm just about to bring her into Clan Boss. Just really quick, her closest comparison for Clan Boss is Sandlash Survivor. Sandlash Survivor is amazing at extending buffs. She also hits really hard. So Sandlash is going to be the preferred choice if you're having to debate between Hope and Sandlash. I would choose Sandlash. Sandlash works on a 3-turn cooldown. She has a bonus ally protection, which is really helpful, although it's not consistent. But Hope can be extremely useful if you don't have Sandlash, or you just want a different alternative. Or maybe you don't have a Valkyrie, you need a little bit extra shielding. Having her put up that shield, especially between the AoEs and for that second AoE hit, that can be really helpful. It might be give you that little bit extra edge just so you can survive a little bit longer. So there's definitely some uses for Hope that maybe would exceed those for Sandlash, but in general I would recommend Sandlash over Hope. But it is kind of like, it's almost like a 1A 1B kind of thing. You're not going to go wrong with either one. Just Sandlash is going to be a lot easier to put into your composition. So with that said, let's go ahead and go to the Clan Boss. Bringing Hope into this run, we're going to want her to extend all the buffs right after the first AoE essentially. So you can see we have the shield there. All the block damage and increased defense buffs from Sepulchre Sentinel are going to be extended throughout the fight. We'll have those on all the time. She does have a wonderful shield ability. However, I brought in Valkyrie for this, which probably wasn't the best to show her off, and so you won't actually see it, and I'll explain why a little bit later in the video. You might see a little bit of it as we get towards the end of the run here, but otherwise she's pretty awesome. We keep all these buffs up the entire fight. So that was the clan boss run. You can see that she obviously is not doing a lot of damage, and that team wasn't like fully optimized to be the best damage dealing. We went against weak affinities. We're not going to get a whole lot out of it. Also had Valkyrie in that composition, which means that Valkyrie's shields superseded Hope's, and I'm going to actually talk about that in a little bit here when we get to the arena, and why that is the way it is. But you could see Hope was extending all the buffs of our allies and making it so that we could survive just a little bit longer. We were able to put Sepulchre Sentinel in there and have the block debuffs the whole way through. Same thing with Valkyrie's counterattack as well as her shields. So a lot of really good synergies were going on there, just maybe not as much as we would like to maximize out of it. We ended up dying early because the decreased attack didn't land. That's not even on Hope. So I feel like that team actually could have done some pretty decent damage and lasted considerably longer if we had been able to keep that decreased attack up the full time. But not really important. It was only to showcase her. What I would like to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you her revamped team. I'm actually going to work on it right now. I'm going to make her into a arena type of build, and I'm going to show you how useful she is there, because I really think arena is going to be her strongest spot in this game. Okay guys, so I've re-kitted Hope up pretty much completely. You can see here I got her HP much higher, 76,000. I know people can do more, but this is pretty good for me. 234 speed, so her speed's even faster now, which is going to only help. We've got her accuracy up to 339. Now, I know if you're looking plat or you're looking farther down, you're definitely going to want to get that higher. Even a lot of gold 4, you're going to want to get that higher. I feel like this is pretty good. You know, I'm not too caught up with it. I do have an HP chest piece on, and if we were to make that, say, a accuracy chest piece, that would definitely bump it up some. But we do have an accuracy banner here. We have HP amulet with accuracy on that as well. Everything else is pretty much HP centric. That's all I'm trying to do, is get her HP as high as possible so those shields are considerable. She has, and I want her accuracy high so she can use those skills. Her A3 and her A1 both need accuracy to land, and those are going to be important. So let's go ahead and take her into arena here. So this is the team I was actually fighting on stream today. I've left it here specifically because this is the perfect team. They put up a bunch of buffs. It's really hard to kill them, and that's perfect because we get to test what she can do over and over and over again, which I'm very excited to do. Now, there is one interesting thing that I found out using Hope, which I tested pretty extensively on stream today, and that is, I'm not going to bring it in here because it's going to make it harder to show everything that Hope can do. But there is one interesting thing that you want to be aware of. When you bring in a champion that places a shield buff, that shield buff will not override another shield buff if the other shield buff has more turns on it. So what do I mean by that? If let's say I have a Valkyrie. Valkyrie puts on a shield for 3 turns, a 3-turn buff. If Valkyrie puts up her shield for 3 turns, and immediately after Hope puts up her shield, well, Hope's shield's only a 2-turn buff. She will not replace the shields from Valkyrie. Won't do it because Valkyrie's shields are lasting longer. Even if you say take a Santa, for instance, he puts up his shield right away, and it's smaller than what Hope would put up. But Hope tries to put up her shields, she won't override them because they have the same turn length. They have the same duration on them. So that is something to keep in mind. When I brought Hope into Clan Boss, you guys saw this. Valkyrie would put up her shield. Hope would not override that shield. Didn't matter how low that shield was. It could just be a sliver of health there. Didn't matter. Hope wouldn't override it because Valkyrie's shield, especially when she extends the buffs, is a longer turn duration than Hope's is. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind there as you're trying to, as you're going through and using her. If you use her with other shield champions, just be aware of that. Now, one great thing about shields is they do stack with Divine Set and Shield Set. So you can see this symbol on this shield on that they have. It's different from the symbol that you put up when you place a shield from your skills. So I have Hope in a shield set. With her HP, you can see everybody has a pretty significant shield, more than the opponents do, because of that set, because of her HP. It's pretty sizable. So there we go. We go ahead and put that up from get all of our buffs going on here. And now with Hope, this is where we extend the buffs. So we put an extension on the buffs, and we also put our shield buff up, and it's going to stack with these divine and the shield set buffs. And you can see that right there. Now we are exceedingly tanky, and our buffs should last forever, pretty much, which is great. That's kind of what we're looking for. So we can go ahead and try and nuke these guys. Let's go ahead and use the second one, because we're not going to kill them anyway. So it's decent, right? Okay, great. We can try and lower some of these cooldowns. Fine, not a big deal. We're just not getting through. I mean, they got Siphi, they've got Skull Crusher, they've got Miscreated Monster, they've got Duchess. Every buff possible is on this team. It's got to be one of the most frustrating teams you could face. And this is where Hope shines in Arena. We're going to use this A3 ability with the chance to remove all buffs from the enemy. It's a 50% chance. It does need accuracy because it can be resisted. But let's go ahead and use that. And you can see we wiped the buffs off Duchess, we wiped the buffs off Siphi, and now we can go in and try and, you know, nuke them down because they don't have all those crazy buffs on them. This is one of those things. This team is very hard to kill. That's why I chose it. It's a great one to be able to watch and see how it works. But you can see how that goes. Now we can use our A1 and try to put block buffs on. And by doing that now, Siphi's ability is not going to matter. We don't get the Miscreated Monster ally protection thing. It's a really strong ability in Arena. But she's not great in like these fast arena games, right? So like when you're coming in super fast and you're just like boom, 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 you're doing one of those, gosh, what are they called? The blender comps or whatever. You're just trying to get through it really fast. Hope's probably not your girl. Excuse me. But where she is great is in maybe a defensive team or a slower team that has the time to use her skills and to be able to cleanse stuff like those buffs from the enemy. And in those cases, I think she's actually phenomenal. So here we have choices, right? We can extend these buffs and give ourselves a shield, or we could try and strip those ally protections off. I think we're going to go ahead and try and extend these and see what we can't do with that, and just trust that we can beat her down before it comes around. And there we go with Arbiter. Maybe she can cleanse it. She does, which is great. Sleep that out. And this is how you end up winning these games, right? And at this point, we can come with the A1. Didn't get the block buffs on. Probably wasn't the best choice to do, but we ended up killing Duchess. Now they can't revive. Basically, the game is ours at this point. It's just how are we going to go about doing that. So we can go ahead and get that moving. And we take them both out, and that's it. That's how it's done, guys. That's the beauty of Hope right there. So Hope is going to extend your buffs, which is phenomenal. Put up a big shield on your team, which is phenomenal. And then strip the buffs from the enemy. There's not a lot of champions out there that can strip buffs. I know Madame Seris is notorious for being able to do that because she has 100% rate, so you just need accuracy. Hope is a 50% rate, I think booked up to 75, which is pretty good. Still needs accuracy, but that is an excellent chance to be able to strip buffs from an enemy. I do recommend bringing her in here for that. Even just for that alone, that's a very, very, very strong ability by itself. Not to mention the shield, the extension of the buffs, the block buffs ability that she has. I think her great spot is going to be in Arena. And I think she's actually going to be phenomenal for defensive teams. Because it takes a while sometimes for those defensive teams to work. That shield helps you live a lot longer. Extending your buffs help a lot. Being able to strip the buffs help a lot. She brings a lot of utility to those arena teams, especially arena defense. So how you use her specifically, I will leave up to you, but I do think she has a very good place in this game. So guys, that's Hope. Now, I didn't bother showing her in Dragons because, frankly, she just doesn't hit very hard. She's not a champion I would want to build up because you're either going to build her for HP for a shield or you're going to build her attack to do damage. And I'm pretty positive that her multipliers just aren't anything worth, looking at. So just build her with the HP, get her tanky, put a shield set on her, or just let her put her own shields up because they are strong, they are powerful, they are pretty massive. Because of these abilities, being able to strip buffs, being able to extend buffs, she's going to be really good in pretty much all your dungeons. She's going to obviously be good in faction wars as well, but I think the place she really is going to shine is actually in Arena. So this is why I think she is a perfect counterpoint to Sandlash Survivor. Sandlash Survivor is great at extending your buffs and wonderful in Clan Boss, and she's okay in Arena, where that emergency ally protection can be really useful. And she has a provoke on her A1, which is okay, but it's nothing like spectacular. She does have like a buff reduction too on that A2 ability of hers. But Hope, on the other hand, is going to be okay in Clan Boss, but fantastic in Arena, where she can strip all the buffs off enemies. She can put a block buffs debuff on them, and she can extend the buffs of your allies. By the way, if I say buff one more time, I think I might go insane. You guys should have been playing a drinking game with this one. Every time I say buff, you have to take a drink. I think that would have been perfect. I should have put that at the top of this one. Oh my goodness. All I can say is, though, that I think Hope is excellent. Really good champion. If you're looking to build an epic for your team, I cannot recommend any higher to build Hope. I think she is a top tier epic champion. She basically has half of Warlord's kit, half of Sandlash Survivor's kit blended together in what I think is one of the best reworks that Plarium did with these champions in patch 2.2. She is, I really feel, endgame viable. Not super high end game maybe, but like I guarantee there are situations where you can use her even in Platinum Arena. So there's always better champions, right? There's always legendaries, always better champions. But if you don't have them and you are like do have those epic champions, I do feel like Hope is an excellent one. So if you have Hope, build Hope, take Hope with you, seize the hope. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you learned something, and I hope to see you guys next time. I also hope that if you enjoyed this video, you'll hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because I have to say that every time to make sure that, you know, otherwise you don't know. But hopefully you do know, and I hope to see you next time. Till then, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.